for the Swazin First
Chief of
Nation.
Chatham First Nation.
First Nation.
Soquel First Nation.
Seward Island.
Peters First Nation.
Atchil's First Nation.
Schwai Village.
We've been doing our community-to-community meetings, which we've been doing for several months now, creating plans for us to work together on all sorts of different policies and planning, seen as it's much better for the communities to work together. We save money, we prosper, we move forward so much faster when we're sharing. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. If we can borrow from each other, can share with each other, it's a great process.
We chose to have our community participate in this project because we felt it would give us the opportunity to collaborate with other communities that may have already done things that we haven't.
For us, we are starting almost from the beginning. We need help in a lot of different areas, and this is helping us get policies in place.
We felt it would be an opportunity for us to learn from other communities and also share our experiences with other communities so that we can all get better together.
Projects like this are like the spearhead of gaining the interest of people to understand that governance is a very big and important process, and the more they can understand, the more they're involved, the better decisions that we make, and the greater number of people involved in those decisions, the better off we are.
Chatham saw an opportunity of getting into partnership and collaborating with our neighbors in terms of pooling the resources to improve capacity. That's governance capacity and administrative capacity.
I think we're a lot of smaller communities. You know, Chiacton, we have about a population of 650, and of that we have about 350 on reserve. But we do have well over and around the 1,500 population of non-members living on reserve, which means we have to have a strong government in order to manage our properties, our leases, servicing agreements, and whatever it might be. So projects like this, community-to-community capacity building, actually gives the smaller communities like Chiacton, where we can come together with 11 other communities and provide training, provide capacity, and being able to effectively and, like I said, financially responsibly provide training to a number of communities at once.
It's been helpful that we've been able to work together with the other First Nations, and we're not reinventing the wheel. They're able to give us templates, able to give us assistance, what contractors have worked and what haven't worked. Atchil's is behind from the other bigger First Nations, so I'm happy that there's other small First Nations that are in this project, that we're able to work together at our speed and not with we don't have a big staff base.
It'll just bring all of the First Nations, the bands together, to be more on a consistent level playing field. Like paddling, you know, you got to paddle together in order to get somewhere, and in order for us to move the next 7 generations, we've got to go in unison. You know, we've got to really collaborate all of our policies, all of our procedures, everything in one, just to keep going.
Changes in the community that I've noticed with this project have been the opportunity to have more community engagement. With the funding and the way it's set up, we're able to offer more member meetings and different opportunities and different ways to communicate with our members.
We've had a lot more training. So recently we had a governance and leadership training session about 2 months ago, and it was extremely beneficial. We also last week just finished a financial administration committee training as well too. So this brought together all the communities that have financial administration law, which we do. And what comes with that is just a little over 30 laws with your financial administration law that you have to abide by, and policies. So it's understanding those policies is extremely important when you're working with a community and in a position of leadership or administration. There's a lot of the policies that you may not read day to day, but you need to understand and how to implement those policies and laws effectively in order to run a really strong government. So that, I think, has been a real big strength that we've gained so far from this project, and it will continue to build as well throughout this project.
We've already gone through communication, training in communication. We've already done, the project has already inspired us, and we've started community comprehensive planning for Chiacton, which we should have a community comprehensive plan within a year. We've already had council go through strategic planning through the support of this program.
Well, some of the things we've noticed since we've been engaged with this is more community engagement within our own community, a formation of a non-political group that allows us to, again, share each other's opportunities and experience. And just with more community engagement comes help with our community comprehensive planning in the long run.
We were never looked at for any additional homes, and with Stacy McNeil coming aboard, we were able to successfully apply for funding, and that was the start of our first phase for our subdivision. We were able to build 3 duplexes, which brought 6 families home. Our second phase was 1 duplex, 2 ranchers, and I have some family members that have never lived at home. So one of our first priorities was working on a housing policy, because to have nice houses, we need to have a strong and good housing policy that we could implement.
I do see a lot of administrative change. So I know that our housing policies, even our land code, like we're really getting into making sure that they're all combined where everything is equal.
One of the problems that all communities have is participation. So we created a number of committees so that people can learn processes, participate, and be involved in how the community makes decisions and moves forward, learning how to plan, all of these things. And so we gave a greater opportunity for more members to become involved, and this process helps us in that overall movement.
It's imperative for all of our communities to begin working together again. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and we need to share those. There's no sense in one community making the same mistake that another community has already learned from. And that way we can all grow and learn and become more successful at a faster pace. It prevents outside agencies from using us to an extent. So one person can come in, sell their expertise to one community, and then continue to do that from community to community to community, whereas now we can learn at once, we can share that information without all having to spend the money for it. So it's been beneficial all the way around.
Being able to work together in a large group like this, it's amazing the energy that comes from it, and the future looks really bright.